There we go. All right. So yes, we are live. This is session 44 of Mask of Nyarlathotep. The party is currently in Kenya at the Mountain of the Black Wind, having brought a literal army with them, having made an alliance with Captain Montgomery of the King's African Rifles, who seems to be part of some sort of secret society that has been working against Nyarlathotep, although not to the same extent you guys are. But he has provided you with manpower and munitions. The way to Kenya was not, or to the mountain was not without its dangers. Jaguars and driver ants, and a village that seemed to be depopulated, but upon closer inspection seemed to be the home to masses of writhing tentacles. But they did seem bound to the village, so they didn't follow after you. When you got to the foot of the mountain, you heard some chanting from up above. Decided that, oh, that looks bad, but we're really bad off. Maybe we should set up camp and see how things go. Things did not go well. You started to make your way up to a cave entrance. There was tornado-like weather at the top. There was lightning. There was a tearing sound, like the very fabric of reality itself being torn apart. One of your soldiers saw something and leapt to his death. Evelyn noticed bodies falling past them that looked like they had been crushed. As you guys made your way into the cave entrance, the soldiers were on point. Basically just like, if it's in front of us, it's getting shot. There was a secret door in the cave that led up probably like a mile, maybe a bit more, that curved upwards to kind of the summit of the mountain, where things went from bad to worse. You saw something easily 200 feet tall, kind of like straddling the temple. Just kind of scooping up random people, stuffing some of them into its tentacled mouth. Not caring if it like missed, like how like you throw popcorn in the air and catch it in your mouth. Sometimes you miss. Well, I was doing that with various assorted cultists and sacrifices, and those that missed the mouth fell to their death. Miles kind of noped out for a second or two. Evelyn is kind of rooted in panic because she sees much liver driver ants kind of scuttling about the place, as well as masses of cultists. Through the din and the chaos, you did manage to see, kind of at the far end of this temple-like complex, like open to the stars, Hypatia Masters kind of like laying on an altar, a naked priestess standing over her, and then Hypatia's abdomen kind of glowed and distended, and then burst open like a chest burster from Aliens, giving birth to the spawn of Nyarlathotep. And that's where we left things.
It don't sounds better when you say it that way.
Was there a description for what burst out, or just the bursting and then
Nope.
we fade to black?
Just the bursting and the tearing, and then we faded to black.
Thankfully, we don't know what it looks like yet.
But you are about to find it.
All I know is it's
It's
a range
night,
of me
right?
throwing dynamite.
It is night.
It's night. We're inside a cave. Kinda.
You came in a cave, through a tunnel up to the summit of the mountain, and now it is open to the stars above.
Yeah. Not a lot of light. Oh boy.
Hey, Chris, where have I fled to during my most recent bout of madness?
Just kind of further back the way you guys came. Um, I lucked in because you flee for a D10 rounds, but I rolled a 1, so you're not going to be that far down the tunnel before you kind of snap to your senses, go like, okay, that shit is bad, but I can't leave my friends. Unless you want to keep running, that is an option as well.
No, nah. That's not this guy. This guy's not like that.
Wait a sec here.
Yet.
Not yet. All right. So as we kind of open our scene, it is dark. There are pools of lights and torches everywhere. Evelyn has dropped her flashlight, illuminating some cultists. The cultists don't seem to be armed with anything even remotely resembling modern weaponry or anything. They've got like knives. There are a shitload of people running around in panic. There are these like very large, like the driver ants that you saw before were about like a good 2-3 inches long. These ones are probably 6 to 8 inches long. Kind of that's what's giving Evelyn the little bit of a freak out.
Mm-hmm.
Way across the way here is where the altar is, where you saw Hypatia. Thankfully, because of the lighting, you can't really get a good look at whatever it was that was birthed. You can basically just see a large shape, probably like 8 or 9 feet tall, very like broad across the shoulders. There's definitely tentacles involved somehow, but it's dark enough that you can't get a good visual on it yet.
8 or 9 feet tall that came out of her stomach. I just want to confirm that's what we're talking about.
Uh-huh.
All right.
It was unpleasant.
Chris, I just want to confirm, have the cultists realized they're screwed, considering what was going on, or are they still like all true believers here?
Well, all the cultists have a sanity of 0.
True believers.
Right, but they were being eaten and thrown off a mountain by a thing.
They were being devoured in holy sacrament with their god.
So this was a thing that was expected or they're happy with. So they're not breaking or running, is what you're telling me.
Nope. They are, however, like aside from you guys, I'm not going to drop on tokens for like all of your soldiers that are with you. There's like gunfire everywhere. You know, soldiers are basically kind of like holding a point so that they can set the vicars up on a tripod. Like the soldiers are doing shit. I just don't want to throw like 1,000 tokens on a map.
That's fair. I was more curious at the state of the cultists and watching them. I was wondering if they were breaking and running or if they were holding their ground. It sounds to me like they're holding their ground and putting a fight.
They are defending their temple.
Now I know they're nuts.
Yeah. But as this scene kind of plays out, you guys are kind of at the back, so you kind of have like eyes on the cultists are like rushing to engage soldiers. Soldiers are shooting cultists. It is just like chaos and madness everywhere. You guys are still kind of back in the entryway to the Grand Temple. So you can decide what it is exactly you would like to do.
What we want to do has kind of nothing to do with what we have to do, I think.
I agree with that, man.
What is wise and what is the plan are two different things.
So we have a ritual to break, a battle to win, and another ritual to seal everything off.
Right. I do it the other way, right? If you're doing a retro, we need to seal it off. To seal it off, we need to empty this area. To empty this area, we need to deal with whatever was just born plus the cultists. Does that track logically with what we need to do?
Yep.
And you guys are basically having to shout just to like be heard over the din of the shouts and the gunfire and everything. Miles, as they're having this like brief little discussion, you kind of snap out of your thing. Your sanity is hanging by a thread, mind you, but you kind of snap out of it and come to your senses. And then a couple of seconds later, Evelyn also does.
Chris, logistically, are we in combat rounds, or is it still
Not
narration?
not until you actually go in and start to engage. Like right now, there is combat happening, but you guys are like not taking part in it actively yet.
I have two major questions for the combat that is happening. One, these are soldiers, so my idea is that they are way better trained at shooting things than we are, because I don't think anyone here is a soldier, and the only one really, really good with a gun is Miles. Right? These guys are professional soldiers. They're much better than us at shooting.
They can hold their own.
And two, does it look like they're winning?
It's hard to tell.
Winning is something that is probably hard to evaluate.
Winning is what winners do. I don't think there's any winners in this.
Facts.
And as you guys are kind of like peeking out around, kind of just getting a gauge of things, you see this reddish beam of light strike one of your soldiers and just melt him.
That should be the priority.
The priestess is still active, eh?
Can we tell where the beam of light came from?
To make spot hidden rolls.
Oh, God. I don't think I want to see it. I just want a direction.
Make a listen roll. I don't know if laser beams make an listen like a noise.
That's okay. I don't see it anyway. Oof. Oh, dear.
I see all of the things.
You see too much.
Wow. Welcome back, Jaime.
Welcome back, Alvin.
Why did you roll twice?
I only rolled once. Oh no, I did roll twice. Woo.
You did roll twice because you got it the first time.
I thought I hadn't rolled. I'm trying to get a hand of this UI again. For
Yep.
those who don't see, I just rolled a natural 100.
Yep. Thankfully, though, that was your second roll, so we won't count the fumble. So yeah, Evelyn, you're still busy kind of like track the ants. But
Yep.
Alvin and Gary and Miles, you can see like that beam seems to come over from where that large tentacled thing is. And again, it's just like moving. It seems to be like deliberately staying in the shadows away from the light. And periodically you just see like tentacles reach out and grab somebody. Sometimes a soldier, sometimes a cultist, and just like pull them in, and then there's this horrible sucking sound. Occasionally there's like a beam of light that fires off from the shadows.
And sorry, what did the beam of light do when it hit them?
Melted them.
Oh, yeah, okay. Never mind.
Like
I don't see it, it's all
like,
good.
Soldier juice.
Yeah, full on like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, okay. Melty wax it is.
We should try to take care of the witch, I think. Priest. Mom.
Priestess.
Kindergartner.
Alvin just points in the direction of the laser beams. Like it's that over there is bad. I don't know what it is. I can't quite make it out, but it's bad.
You don't want to know what it is, but we have to. So Gary will just sigh heavily and make his way to the origin of those stupid lasers.
All right. Is anybody picking up the flashlight?
Um,
I will if no one else does.
I'm just wondering if the people with guns should be more busy holding onto their guns than picking up flashlights. Like, I mean, I can't pick up a Tommy gun if I have
Yeah.
a flashlight in my hand.
Evelyn will scramble for a light again so that she can keep an eye on the ants.
All right.
Chris, the distances are accurate. How far is 85 feet?
Pretty much all the way across to the altar.
No, I know that, but like, I'm not great with feet. It's like what,
It's about
40
not
meters?
no less than that. It's not even 30 meters. It's about 20 something.
So like the length of a bowling alley kind of deal?
Probably a
Or
little bit
are
more than
American
that.
people who will measure everything except for in actual meters, like a
Yeah,
bowling alley's length?
you have the weirdest measuring stick.
Yeah. If you're young enough, or if you remember doing the 50-meter dash in like high school during like the Canadian Test of Basic Fitness, is slightly less than that.
Okay. Wait, I thought you said it was like closer to 30 meters.
85 feet would be about 30 meters.
Okay. It's not the easiest shot, but it's not long range, is it?
Shouldn't be. Right.
I'll try to take a shot at Mueru.
Right. So,
Priest is still active.
oh yes, you see her like she grabs somebody and like withers their limb, just like what happened to Luther. It is very much mass chaos out here. What would Miles like to do?
Sorry, what's Mweru again? Which one is that?
She is the high priestess.
Oh, not the one that gave birth.
Because she had bodyguards.
She does have bodyguards. There's a couple of cultists that are sticking very close to her.
But to be clear, she's not the one who gave birth.
No, the one who gave birth is no longer a concern.
No,
Gotcha.
she was the infernal doula.
Yep, she was.
Okay, so if necessary, I'll take a round to aim, but I want to try to do like a headshot or something on her to try to take her out quick, simple, as easy as I can.
All right. Perfect. Yeah, like I said, the cultists are kind of occupied with soldiers. There's like a bunch of hand-to-hand fighting happening. Soldiers have gotten a machine gun set up. And there doesn't seem to be any real shortage of cultists. Like you can picture like each of these cultist tokens on the map represent an ongoing battle with soldiers as opposed to a single individual cultist.
When you kill a cultist, 2 cultists spawns.
But those of you who are taking shots can certainly do so.
And there's no initiative order. We just go for it.
No initiative order yet because you guys are basically non-combatants at this time.
Sorry, how do we pick a target again?
Just mouse over it and hit T for target.
I'm getting unable to calculate distance between tokens.
Same.
Hmm. I don't know why.
I think I rolled an extreme success. I just did full auto, targeted there, and just kept clicking roll damage until it rolled up.
Yep.
I think I might have rolled twice.
Yeah, I rolled up approximately 8 times, so I'm just gonna.
Mine seems to be once within my. Oh yeah, because you have to go back to the card on the right and select it from there.
Yep.
Holy shit! Did I do 47 points of damage? Sorry, I apologize for my language if this isn't a safe for work podcast.
You did do 47 points of damage. So the Tommy gun just rings out, just like riddles the area with bullets. There's like a screeching, like this horrible screeching sound. Something thumps over in the darkness and tentacles stop moving around. My armor of 2 and 34 hit points seemed like a decent amount.
I don't know, like I don't have details on how it rolled. Maybe it shows on your side. I don't know what I rolled.
Yeah. Well, if you get an extreme success, you do maximum damage plus plus the damage roll.
Well, I did full auto on a Tommy gun. It seemed appropriate.
Basically it's a D10 plus 2 and a D10 plus 2 and a D10 plus 2 and then 12 and 12. So 6, 9, 8, 12, 12. Yeah. All right. The rest of you can roll as well.
I think Gary and I did multiple rolls by mistake.
I think so.
But I probably missed.
I can't tell looking at any of these if I hit or not. Or is that just target and I still have to do the roll?
Yeah, you still have to do the roll.
There should be a button
okay.
inside the card that says like shoot.
Yep, I
Roll
see
damage.
now. I think I might have targeted multiple times and that's why it's there.
Yep. There you go. I got it cleaned up a little bit.
Ooh. Why are you? Okay. Is that an error of the device that says dummy?
It gave me an error message when I tried to target her, but I did say that I was trying to target Mweru directly.
Gotcha. Right. And she goes down as well. Couple of clutch rolls for you guys right there. But at this point, the cultists, like as the spawn in Nyarlathotep explodes and as the priestess goes down, attention has been drawn to you between the elephant gun going off and the automatic spray from the Tommy gun. There are cultists starting to converge on your location.
Sorry, what did Alvin shoot?
Alvin shot the spawn itself.
He said there was things where I was shooting lasers and had tentacles, and I just pointed my gun in that direction and unloaded.
Did it seem to do anything?
It seemed to splatter something.
Oh, good.
I apparently rolled 37 points of damage.
Which is substantial.
Sorry, 47, 10 was mitigated.
Yeah. Let's see. So I was gonna.
Oh, and it's not on the board anymore.
Does Eugene have his gun out?
Yep.
And does Evelyn have a gun out?
I'm not sure that she has one
Just because it affects your initiative.
I have a 30 lever carbine, apparently. She will pull it out.
Okay, so it's not out yet.
Although but she's also holding onto a flashlight, so.
Use technical tape.
Perfect. All right. So Gary is up.
Since I'm gonna try to shoot at the closest cultist coming in.
All right. That is a miss.
Yes, most probably.
All right. That'll take us to Miles. All right. Miles, you're up. Cultists are closing in on you.
Sorry, can you go to the next person and I'll be right back?
Oh, certainly, yes. That'll take us to Elvin.
Okay. Cultists are charging our location, but these individual cultists are not. The tokens on the board are not individual cultists, right?
Yeah,
Can I just
they basically represent, you know,
groups?
groups and combatants and all that sort of thing.
Can I just like Alvin is not in a happy mood here. There's a million cultists. Can I just lay down fire? Because I don't know how if I can't target an individual cultist from. I feel like I'm just putting bullets in the area to try to stop them from advancing on us. I don't know if there's a role for that.
Yeah, basically, I'm just gonna like if you kill a token, then that part of combat is out. So basically, you can target the token, but the token represents several cultists. It's easier than putting 250 or so tokens on the map.
Okay, so I'm just targeting what I think is the nearest one, which is cultist number 12, and I'm just going to click on shoot and I just rolled double six, as in 006 and 006.
Oof.
We kind of missed you.
Yeah, well, that's because of the bonus die. So yeah, another extreme success. No, the cultist will not make a Constitution check. He is dead. We'll go to Eugene if Mark's not back yet.
No, I'm back.
Okay, Miles.
Yep. How do we tackle shooting, let's say, one in a cluster if we've only got like a one-shot type weapon?
Yeah, I'm just basically just for simplicity, the tokens are represented, but if you take out the cultist of the token, then you take out the group.
Okay, I will go after the nearest token to me then.
It's kind of the easiest way to do some sort of mass combat. I mean, there's other fights happening, like, so picture like, you know, Miles takes out one and then the soldiers that are around you take out the rest of that particular group or however it makes sense. Oh, you are out of ammo.
Can I just drop drop my current gun, grab another one, and shoot in the same round, or am I just better off putting it away and grabbing another one for next round? Or just doing an ammo reload this round.
Yeah, you can just reload.
All right, I'll do that.
Perfect. So yeah, on your combat thing, if you just click the little revolver cylinder, it'll reload. You can put in one bullet for one action.
Chris, are these like swarm rules where like there's still a single target, but they have DR to represent multiple people?
Nope. Basically, if you hit, I'm assuming that soldiers also hit that group. That'll take us to Eugene.
I was wondering, it's not the first time I deal with cult. Is there anyone that looks like they're keeping people focus? Like some kind of sergeant or someone in control that like tells them to charge or whatever?
There was, but she got shot in the head by Miles.
Okay, so no more of those kind of people.
It's literally a bunch of like naked ass cultists running around just attacking whatever they can reach with their knives.
Okay. I mean, if they're like mostly insane, it could have been somebody trying to keep them in the right direction.
Yeah.
But
No, they are far past mostly insane.
okay, nobody hurting cats. Trying to see what they are. I can't really target anything, but I'll aim for cultist number 3.
Okay.
I don't know if it rolled anything.
No, it did not.
Do you see the card on the right? Because then you have to click on roll inside the card on the right.
Oh, it said he was out of ammo because he apparently forgot to reload.
I never shot with that gun, so
Yeah. So I added the ammo in. So just roll your shot again.
yeah, I see AF the combat tab, so some of the options are out of reach for me.
I got it for you. Oh, 96. That is a failure.
Yep.
Alright, so that means 3 mobs of cultists are basically going to ascend on you guys. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you. So that's going to be Gary, and Miles.
I'm way too pretty to be stabbed.
Oh, you'd like to think so. That will miss.
As he should.
Ooh, that will succeed. So you can try to dodge or you can fight back if you like.
I have a way better chance at fighting back.
So on the chat card, you should see an option to click fight back.
Yes, sir. Can I? No.
Oh, that is a tie, so you are going to take damage. You could spend 1 luck to get it to an extreme success, which would give you the win.
I think 1 luck is a good sacrifice that for not being stabbed.
Okay, so in that case,
So lucky.
the cultist will take the damage. So roll the damage here.
Yeah, it's 16.
That is enough. So as these cultists come down, you slash it with the knife. Kill them. A couple of them get shot. No problem there.
No, I don't like it, but
And cultist on Miles. Is going to hit Miles. Again, you have the option to fight back or to dodge.
Well, if I fight back, I'm taking damage, right?
If you fight back and win, then you'll inflict damage. If you dodge and win, then you get out of the way.
I think I'm going to dodge. My dodge is better than my brawl.
Okay.
Hmm.
19.
Sweet 19.
That is 19 for you is a hard success, so that is enough. You dodge out of the way. That'll take us to Evelyn.
I am going to try to shoot. In a panic, I'm going to say the cultist 1 group.
Okay, those are the ones that are trying to gut Miles.
Yeah. So hopefully this will stop them. Or is Miles too entangled?
Nope. Unless you fumble.
Here's hoping I don't. So I just click the name of the weapon?
Well, mouse over and hit T for target.
Okay.
Yep. And then on your combat tab, click the weapon.
Okay. I don't know what that did.
So you'll see in the Foundry chat.
See, roll firearms?
Yep. And yes, they are charging armed soldiers with machine guns with knives because they are insane.
I can't tell what I rolled. It doesn't. Oh, 82?
That is a failure.
Yes, it definitely is.
Not a fumble, but it is a failure.
I didn't shoot Miles. Or
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, take me out now so I don't die if all of you or something else.
I mean, if the choice is there.
I was going to say,
which
this
would you
is
prefer?
really no worse than any, quote-unquote primitives attacking a modern thing, like Zulus attacking in the Zulu Wars or whatever.
Yeah, Miles is having flashbacks.
Speaking like a true British.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, true Brit.
That will take us back around to Gary. The cultists are now basically upon you, and there are more coming.
yeah, I'm not sure that fighting one with a knife is such a good idea, but it's still my better option at the moment. So that's it.
I just want to confirm, no one has chosen to fall back during this?
Not yet.
What is the nearest from me? Is it cultist 1?
Cultist 18. He's
Aha! 57 out of 58.
Oh, he is going to take damage from your knife. It's still alive.
It's kind of underwhelming, but I didn't take any damage, so
That's right. That'll take us to Miles.
So I don't know if you saw in the chat that I wanted to just switch to my revolver since I got more shots with that.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Yeah.
All right, so is our cluster like there and hand to hand with us, or like is it the ones on the bottom right?
The one that is trying to get you is cultist 1. Technically, is the one that's trying to like tear your face off
Okay.
and eat your flesh.
Okay, I will target them. It's what? Right? Or T?
T for target.
Just straight T, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Show them, old man.
If you T a second time, though, it'll unselect it. You should see like little arrows around it that indicate that you have it targeted.
Okay.
Those of us who play Pathfinder and Foundry are well used to targeting. I do it in all my games now, just out of force of habit.
Except Forbidden Land.
I do it in Forbidden Lands all the time, too.
Oh, okay. Maybe because I'm a hand-to-hand in that game, I don't notice.
Yeah. Ooh, an extreme success. This is going to be messy. Perfect. So yeah, so as these guys are like basically clampering over one another to try to get to you and like, you know, swinging it with the knives, and the knives are like, they're like kind of like a little bit hooked at the end. It looks like they're designed so like they could like get into your ribs, and then they turn it and pull out, and it just like snaps the rib. Very nasty looking knives. You're just like, oh shit, and you pull out you're probably a Webley, and like point blank range just eliminate that cultist. That will take us to Alvin.
I am full autoing the next guy.
All right.
Please do not fumble since I'm in melee with him.
No, I'm shooting 18. Are you in melee with 18?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
That is not a fumble. 42.
Chris, I'm not doing something wrong, right? I am pushing the right buttons here.
Yeah, you are. It's just
Okay.
because you get a bonus die because of the point blank range. It's yeah, makes up for all those bad rolls earlier.
Wow. That
Full
100 that I rolled at the beginning, I guess.
Yeah.
Full auto is kind of scary.
A Tommy gun has 50 rounds. I spend 5 bullets on every full auto. I'm not recharging unless all of these cultists die.
Yep. That'll take us to Eugene. Between Miles and Alvin, they have bought you some breathing room. There's nobody currently kind of like pushing their way down the little alcove that you guys are in.
Would falling back allow us to take them one at a time by narrowing the path with the tunnel?
Depends if they follow you or not. Like they're not they're not rational beings, right? They're attacking you because they see you.
Okay. I'm gonna switch from the elephant gun to the well. Just a question: does the carbine has more bullet in it than the elephant gun? I can't see that.
Yeah, carbines hold 5.
I'm gonna switch
Actually,
from the elephant gun to the carbine.
Sorry, they hold 6.
I have 4 in my carbine, but maybe it's a different kind. I don't know.
Nope. They have a max of 6 on a carbine.
And I'm gonna just fall back a bit. I want to be still able to shoot people, but if there's too much of them, being able to backtrack in the tunnel so that we have less to fight at a time sounds like a good idea.
All right. Evelyn.
Evelyn is going to Where is the creature?
It's there someplace.
The tentacly thing? Can't really tell.
After that, like initial, like full auto spray from Alvin, you haven't seen any sign of the creature.
Okay. I will aim at or try to shoot cultist 4.
All right. Buy yourself just a tiny bit more breathing room.
That's the hope. We'll see if I manage. I clicked the button, but nothing happened.
Did you click the one that says in the chat that says roll firearms?
Firearms. Yeah.
Click it again.
There we go. Ooh, it's green. I'm guessing that's a good thing.
Yep, that is a
Yay,
hit.
roll damage. 7 points.
Right. It doesn't kill him instantly, but it basically, like, you fire and like a bunch of cultists like drop. They are not in the fight anymore.
It's breathing room.
It's a fair bit of breathing room, actually. So you guys have seen, like, Eugene has fallen back and like fired off switched over to his carbine. Everybody is basically, I imagine you guys basically have gotten like position behind like some like outcroppings and stuff in this little tunnel alcove that leads into the temple.
Yeah, natural cover kind of thing.
Exactly. I'm just ready to shoot anything that comes down towards you. I expect.
Will not try. I won't try to engage anyone if they're not actively trying to get us.
Gotcha.
If anything gets into close combat, I'm gonna try to bump them in the face with the butt of my gun.
And since you said that the creature is not seemingly seeing us, I'm gonna do the mystical hand sign in front of my face, popularized by 1920s wrestler say that it can see me.
Perfect. Right. All right.
Chris, just FYI, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell everyone reload, and I'm going to prep an action or prime or delay an action until one of the cultists comes closer and shoot it. Basically, I want to buy everyone around to be able to reload. So like that afterwards, they can cover me while I reload.
Gotcha. Perfect. Why doesn't everybody give me a luck roll?
Oh no.
Don't worry, I'm there.
Lucky number 7, not.
Wow. Oh, Eugene.
Yeah.
So
Oh, Gary.
I'm a bad luck
Magnet?
lightning thing.
Lightning
luck
rod.
Lightning rod.
Yes.
Lightning rod.
I'm a bad luck enthusiast.
Bad luck's one of my hobbies.
Basically the luck rolls just so we're not playing rounds after round after round after round after round of combat. This is basically going to be during the ensuing onslaught. Eugene and Gary will perhaps maybe take a little bit of damage from a cultist.
Man, I did not. I thought you said we're going to die, like, because that's the kind of game that we play.
Well, when you do 42 points of damage to the monster, that changes things up a little bit.
In a different scale of things, you did 4 Gary of damage.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Basically, just kind of during the scuffle, like Eugene and Gary might maybe get nicked by a sword. But turns out it was only Eugene who got slightly nicked.
How much damage is that?
I took 3. I applied it to you, so not even enough for a major wound.
Well, since Eugene is willing to just go in melee and punch something in the face, that makes sense.
Yeah, basically a group of cultists come down and you like punch one in the face that you don't even notice really till after it's already been like driven back and then shot. That you're bleeding a little bit from like a cut on your upper arm.
I mean, I gotta try to punch people up if I want my melee skill to rise, so I'm gonna go punch people up.
Honestly, it's ridiculous. I think Gary had a hidden past of a knife fighter. I didn't know that it was brawl skill, so I thought brawl was just punching things, you know? But no, I'm good with a knife.
But yes, during the basically once you guys have kind of a safe fallback position, and Alvin is oh, nice roll there, Eugene. Apparently the guy that knifed you like punched his head off. Extreme success on a brawl roll. But yeah, as you guys kind of like fall back, let the soldiers do their thing. Alvin, you kind of like hold the position while everybody like reloads, rearms. Evelyn, now that you're not close to where the giant ants are, you're starting to come to your senses. Miles, this kind of takes you back in a ways, enough that you can focus on, yes, there's monsters out there, but this is, those are cultists. Cultists die. Cultists can be shot. Easy peasy. And you kind of get in the rhythm of it. If this was like a modern movie, Let the Bodies Hit the Floor would be playing.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah. But after probably like 5-10 minutes of pretty intense gunfire, I don't know if any of you are history buffs or anything, or if you've ever seen like the British military when they do the Mad Minute with the FN. See how many rounds they can fire out of a bolt action rifle. It's intense. Like, bringing these guys with you has paid off. And then the gunfire kind of slows. You can see from your position, the chaos seems to be ebbing. And then periodically there's just like a single shot here, single shot there, and then everything kind of like dies down. There is some whimpering and like some definite sounds of pain, but the combat itself seems to be over.
Gary sits down and just like if he was holding a breath for the whole time, just sighed and cannot believe that he's still alive.
Chris, Alvin goes through the entire area. He's going to try not to look too much at the dead bodies, but he's looking for the body of the tentacle thing. Not because he wants to know what it is, but because he wants to put more bullets into it, just in case.
So yeah, there is this. Actually, Alvin can make me a sanity roll as you kind of pick your way through the mess.
Could you recharge my gun? Because I'm gonna do that as soon as there's a lull in whatever is happening. Because I don't believe it's gonna stop.
Gotcha. No worries. All right. So yeah, Alvin, now that it's not moving around, you do find this. Well, here. Since I went out through the effort of having a picture, I may as well get the picture.
Chris, my comment was more in my combat tab. I have ranged weapons. There's like a little pistol, which looks like a 38 revolver. And then underneath there's Tommy gun and it looks like a sword. So we'll look at it later. It doesn't matter for this game. I just want to make sure that I'm not cheating or anything.
Yeah, my elephant gun has a sword too. I think it's just an icon problem when it doesn't have an icon for the weapon.
Yep.
You put the sword as a default.
Yeah. Well,
My submachine gun score is 15. I can't imagine I scored 3 critical successes in a row.
with a bonus die, not unheard of. There you go. That's the tentacle thing.
I shoot it.
Ah.
This tentacle thing, I don't like it. I don't like it in the rain. I don't like it on a train.
You don't like it on a
Odd
train?
number of arms, mouth off to one side. Yeah, that's bad.
I think it feels unloved.
Are those eyes on its chest? Pectoral
I think the
muscle
only way
thing?
to protect myself against Lovecraft is citing Dr. Seuss.
It does look strangely Seussian.
It's all the curves. Curves and curls.
Chris, I shoot it again. and
Shoot it again and again.
Just shoot it until you run out of bullets and then shoot it again.
I shoot it until it no longer has that scary shape so other people can look at it.
That's great.
So it's Mr. Tentacle Head now. You just have to put it back together.
But yeah, there's a bunch of dead soldiers. There's a bunch of dead cultists. Out of the like 120 men that came with you to the mountain, there's like maybe a quarter of them left, maybe a third.
That's enough for the ritual.
If I see any wounded soldier that is still salvageable, I'm gonna try to help them, medicine them up.
Sure. Anybody who would like to can make a first aid or a medicine roll.
Sorry, a quarter or a third of who are left?
The soldiers.
So we've got about 30 or 40 people.
It will heal itself.
Alvin just like, I think I saw a twitch.
Just because most of these horrible things have dissolved or disappeared. It's very rare for us to end up with a body. So normally a body means it's about to get back up because we have been there before.
Yeah. Actually, people can make a Cthulhu Mythos roll.
I'm going to do first aid.
Okay.
Did you say can or need to?
Can.
So this is a thing that we can choose not to do.
It is.
My dice are showing up so weird. I'm getting like these weird shadow dice that I can't actually see any numbers on.
But you scored a hard success on your Cthulhu Mythos check.
Yeah. Miles's dice show up that way too. It's really weird.
That's probably a graphical thing on your end.
Maybe.
But Evelyn and Eugene, most of the weird creatures that you've encountered, once they've been defeated, kind of dissolve, disappear. This thing hasn't.
Oh.
Is it because it was born?
I don't.
It's because it's real.
That's my guess.
Should we?
Usually they're summoned, so
Burning sounds like a fine plan. Burning is good for virtually everything.
And it also needs a cure in the sun. Leave it somewhere the sun's gonna shine on it.
You don't wanna move it?
I mean, eventually the sun will shine down into this space.
Yeah, I'm just saying it so we don't hide it somewhere. It's gonna be in the shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let the sun shine on it.
We should start the ritual
We should.
now.
Yes.
I mean, we gotta wait for midnight, but
Gosh.
yeah.
Yep, you have to start the ritual at moonrise.
Oh, right. Okay. Let's have the soldiers prod it into the middle of the open area.
I mean, we don't
We
have to do
should.
the ritual here. We can do the ritual like 50
I think,
meters over there to not have to look at it, right?
and then go outside. I think fresh air would be nice.
Well, we're on the top of the mountain. Technically, we're in fresh air. But yeah, I'll find the best spot, the highest spot of the mountain to do the ritual.
It smells a
Give me a
lot
few
like
minutes.
gunfire.
Oh,
I'll try to find the best spot.
interesting. Actually, since both of you got hard successes, you at this point in time have 4 minutes until moonrise.
Oh, holy. What?
I'm gonna start shouting out orders then. Split the soldiers so we have people keeping us safe and getting the people to help us chant with us. So I'm gonna start asking stuff and barking orders. Get thing moving.
Yes. I looked at what the current game time was, and then I very quickly looked up like what time is moonrise in Nairobi in July.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, the soldiers start gathering around. Some of them are like a little bit like kind of like shell shocked, and they're just kind of like trudging along, following orders because orders are stability.
Yep.
The comfort of order.
I'm gonna place people, order people around, make sure we have a couple that stays to protect us if something else comes toward us. So we start on time, and I'm gonna use the Vorish sign before starting, so I make it easier
All right.
because I don't want to fuck up the ritual.
So who is leading the ritual?
I think we decided that it would be me because I have more power than Evelyn right now.
I think so.
Right. And is anybody not taking part?
I was about to ask that. Should I participate or defend just in case something like it gets up again or something?
Honestly, since we have a bunch of people participating, it's gonna lower the cost on the people participating the more they are. But if some of you avoid participating, sorry, my tongue is not working tonight. Uh, you will not lose power by doing the ritual, so it might be interesting for some of you to stay in guard just so you protect your own power.
I'm standing guard.
Senor Tommy and I will stand guard.
I can give power, but I will not participate actively.
I think you have to be able to give power.
Yep.
Do I?
The people who give power, the
Yeah,
people who
like
repeat the chant.
Oh man,
Yeah.
well, I will use my marvelous voice to chant.
Evelyn will not. Evelyn will hold off. Save her power for the next go round.
I would look
And
like
in
the
case
camp
something goes wrong.
camp counselor Gary will try to help the soldiers chanting the thing.
Try to get as much of them in the circle participating. Damn it. Speaking is hard.
Why doesn't somebody give me a persuasion roll?
I can do that.
I can help.
I'm quite persuasive. Come on, guys, sing after me. Lara Schnerboffer.
Right. So a good percentage of them will take part. Like, I mean, they've just seen some shit, and Gary's telling them like, if we do this, that shit won't happen again, sort of thing. So a good number of them, like 25 of them, participate.
That's good news.
Right. So 25 of them, and Gary is 26. Eugene is 27.
And how much do we have to spend?
For Eugene and Gary, it's going to be 4 power. It's not too shabby.
And to regain power, if I remember correctly, you have to eat babies or something?
You can get into a magical duel with somebody. There's a spell that leeches the power out of people.
That will not happen.
I mean, we have plenty of cultist leader to kill, so I'm not against trying to do that to them. But I do not have that spell.
I mean, it would say that I will never use spells. Because books.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, I don't think either of you have the spell. Nope, neither one of you have the spell. Right. But yeah, so over the course of the next several hours, from night until the time the sun rises, the group is chanting. Everybody's keeping a watch out. It is unnaturally quiet in the area after all of the chaos and the gunfire and strange rituals that have happened here over time. It's oddly peaceful. Probably for the first time in forever.
Chris, when you say stuff like that, I expect you to say it's oddly peaceful, roll sanity.
Or roll luck.
Well, you guys didn't even have to release who is not what she seems. But as the first rays of sun kind of like start to come over the horizon, and the eye has absorbed blood from the innocents who do not know the true nature of reality. Kind of a peaceful calm fills this temple area.
Except for the bodies everywhere.
Except for the bodies everywhere. And there are a lot of bodies. Like as the sun comes up, like there's bodies that you didn't see in the darkness. Probably sacrifices. As the light comes up, you can see that in the center there is a stone altar. It seems to be like this kind of bluish white stone. There's a couple of very deep pits. that have like a bunch of like dead, decaying skeletal bodies down in the bottoms of them.
Can we see the body of the thing as the sunlight hits it?
Yes, you can clearly. Thankfully, at this point, it has been so badly mutilated and it's not moving that it doesn't pose a threat to your sanity.
Does the sunlight affect it?
It does not seem to.
Plan B, let's fire.
But now that you can see it in like the harsh light of day, as it were, it does have like a darker coloration to its skin. Miles, you're a trained hunter. This thing is definitely like that. That skin in like a shadowy environment would work as a sort of camouflage. It's probably why you couldn't get a very good look at it while it was sticking to the shadows. But daylight is up. Everybody is exhausted. You guys have all been up for like at least 24 hours at this point.
Did the general survive, by the way?
The one of the lieutenants did. Lieutenant Higgins.
But not the general?
No, he never came with you. The captain never came with you.
Again, was he the one that was traumatized by the village or the other one?
Higgins was the one that was traumatized by the village.
That sounds like it helped them then.
Did it?
Seeing
Chris-
the terrible thing made him not charge.
Chris, cleanup duty. I just want to make sure that no one walks away with a book of spells or anything like that. I know that soldiers like keeping stuff from battles.
There doesn't seem to be anything of that nature here as you guys like kind of look around. It's like very sparse, very Spartan.
So it looked like there was a place to keep anything like that? Like, because normally a temple has like a place where you have your holy relics and books and stuff like that. So
there is an altar. And there's the living quarters down below that you guys pass through. But you haven't seen anything that looks like it might have been a book or even a place to keep a book.
okay, I'm gonna go over to our smarter people, and I'm just gonna. So I guess like Evelyn and Eugene, and I'm gonna ask them, what can we do to make sure that the cult doesn't come back?
Any magic they're gonna try to do here is gonna work way, way less and be less efficient. So I don't think they're gonna.
Right, but I mean, if there were cultists here, as far as I can tell, no cultists have survived. But is there any way we can ensure that that legacy is as curtailed as much as possible? Like, is there a book, or is there something? Do we smash the altar? Like, I don't know.
Possibly, we need to look around, see if there's something suspicious, something sacred for them, or something hidden by them. We should not just leave this place. We should do a sweep.
God damn it. Okay.
I found a box underneath the throne with a timepiece in it.
Oh,
A nautical timepiece. So yeah.
We've found those in a few places. New York, England.
So we should install dynamite and like smash things.
We should definitely either destroy the clock or bring it with us.
I would keep the clock. It give us their time.
I think we might have
But,
another one stashed away somewhere.
I would go around and check if there's anything they have hidden here that we should destroy or bring with us, and then maybe we should collapse the tunnel that comes up to here.
I'm gonna go with Eugene and try to start that goddamn searching party.
I'm gonna help you search. I think someone should that collapsing the tunnel idea. I think is a stroke of genius.
Yeah,
But let's search.
the guy who's good with dynamite, is he dead?
I'm gonna check.
Make a luck roll.
Wasn't that you?
Check for
Chances are good.
Wasn't that you?
Oh yeah, he's so dead.
He is very dead.
I mean, I'm not bad with dynamite. I can probably collapse the tunnel.
Not bad with dynamite, his famous last words.
Hmm.
I have been trained to use dynamite. Is that better?
That sounds much better.
That does sound good.
Let's search this place first, and then we can work on collapsing the tunnel.
Is that the same as saying you were trained to play baseball as in Little League? Or you know what? I don't want to know. I'm going to keep searching.
Okay. Everybody who's searching, give me a spot hidden roll.
Could you roll that for me? Because I can access it.
So many successes.
3 successes is like a heroic success, right?
And a hard
Whew.
success for the guy that has the least amount of spot hidden that we have in the team.
So you guys
Usually I'm the one who don't see shit.
as you guys kind of like make your way carefully through this, yeah, there doesn't seem to be like anything of like any sort of personal material. There's no like jewelry. There's no trinkets. There's at best there's like a very like simple kind of like animal hide and animal fur bed in the cavern that you first came in. The only thing out of the ordinary is the clock that you found earlier.
And these people were terrorizing an entire like countryside.
Mm-hmm.
There were hundreds of them.
I mean, all those people were naked. Was there a pile of clothes somewhere?
There would be clothes and stuff that were discarded during the frenzy of the ritual.
And piles of knives.
There's so many knives.
It would
now.
mean something else. It would mean something else if they got naked somewhere else and then got to the mountain. It would be a sign of something else. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm asking.
So
Yeah, so
collapse
many
that
knives.
shit and have a
Does
snack.
that leave us only with smashing the altar? Is there anything like, oh God, I'm going to regret asking this question. Is there anything inscribed on the altar? Or is it just a plinth of stone?
It's just stone. It's like a kind of a bluish white. As you get close to it, probably more blue than white. You can make a natural world or geology roll.
It's made of rock.
Maybe you'd have more information if you tasted it.
Why does geology always taste the stone?
Yeah, roll for taste.
It's
But if
important
there's
to know
only
if the rock
stone
is
that looks
deciduous or coniferous.
Is the only stone
It's
that
a
looks like this
coniferous
around
stone,
here?
clearly.
Sorry, what was that, Yorick?
is the only stone that looks like it around here?
Yeah, the rest of the stone in the temple, it looks like kind of a combination of like granite and like this like reddish volcanic rock. This is very clearly a different type of stone than anything else here.
Chris, is that a suggestion to lick it, or is that a hey, lick it because you rolled poorly?
It's a suggestion because sometimes the game master likes to see if you'll actually do things that I tell you.
Well, I owe you a Christmas present, right?
Well, go lick the black tentacly thing.
Oh God! Don't lick the black tentacly thing.
Is it
Maybe it's
one
like a poison
big-
frog. It'll just make you have
Probably.
hallucinations of a happy, pleasant variety.
In no world, lick the tentacly thing is a good sentence.
It's like that song
Maybe-
sings. You should put it in your mouth.
I don't think that's how the lyrics go.
But Alvin,
it-
since you were up close to the stone and examining it, it's like about 3 foot by 3 foot by 7 foot, and it's clean. Like even if you take into account, like, you're a trained investigator, even if you take into account like blood spray from the carnage of the past several hours, this stone is pristine.
I can't burn stone, Chris.
is the stone in one piece, or is there shards or fragments of it around it?
It's in one piece.
No way to grab a piece of it?
So it's a treasure.
Well, you could try.
Is it like embedded in the cave wall?
It's sitting on the almost like a makeshift dais. It doesn't seem to be part of the dais. It's just sitting there, and it's like a 3 foot by 3 foot by 7 foot piece of solid rock.
And that's not the same as the altar.
No, that is the altar. That is right.
I'm sorry, that is or is not the altar?
Yep, it is the
The
altar.
dais is under the altar. The dais is kind of like a step that the altar is on.
Oh,
But yeah, it doesn't look like it's part of it. It looks like it is sitting there, but a piece of rock that heavy is not going to move.
I was just curious if I could get a fragment to bring to someone who could explain to us what the fuck is that stuff.
You can get fragments if you smash it.
Yep. I'm considering smashing it.
Don't consider, do it or don't. There's no try.
Yeah, I'm just looking for a tool to do that. Time to find a sledge
Chris,
or
did any of the
something.
military men bring a hammer?
Yeah, they've got tools. They're down at the base camp, but they've got tools.
Oh, going at the base camp to like wash myself and have a snack. That would be awesome. That's what I'm
Can't
gonna
we just tie TNT to
I mean,
everything and just collapse the whole thing
We don't
and
have that
destroy
much
the
TNT.
altar?
Not anymore.
I mean, I used a bit, but they did bring a lot. I'll see what I can do with the stock we have to collapse as most of the tunnel we can. And I could always use a bit of dynamite to try to break that thing. I just don't want new tenant to come in and use the place as the old one we're using it. But the fact we didn't find anything here means they probably have a camp or something close by. So we should stay wary of that.
Let's blow it up and go home.
Maybe
We have
Yeah,
things, places to
like
be.
the ritual is
with the
done.
so many people coming out, we could probably track from where they came from.
We don't have
With
to
every,
wipe them out more than we already did.
I agree.
It's just like Alvin said, if they left altars or books, somebody could just take out the flame and do it again.
They had their god here with somewhere should have that stupid book. It's here. I mean, we saw a woman explode giving birth to that thing.
We
Well,
looked, we found nothing. Staying here another day isn't gonna change that.
I'm not talking about
That's
saying
not.
another day. I'm just giving you thoughts that I have while I dynamite this thing.
I like
It's
thoughts that
gonna
you
take
have
me a
while
bit
you're
of time to
dynamiting.
place everything. You have a bit of free time by the time I just blow all
No,
that up.
most definitely. It's just there's probably still some of them somewhere in Kenya.
Yeah. If they have
Maybe.
a stash near the mountain that we could destroy, I wouldn't be against. That's it.
Before we leave Kenya, you know who I'd like to speak to again? That wise woman.
The wise guy.
Was it the old one that was dreaming?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Because
And
they
if he'll
said,
allow it, if he allows it, I'd like to keep for safety. EU is not what she appears. It's like having her around.
It's like not getting eaten by flies.
Also helps.
Hmm.
Well, let's get down. I'll get something to break that altar and the dynamite and check how much dynamite we have left so I can collapse the tunnel.
Could try pushing it down the mountain. Pushing it off the mountain.
We also could do that.
That
We
way
have a bunch of soldier.
we're not making our descent more difficult. Because if we blow the top off this mountain with dynamite, then all of those chunks are going somewhere.
There's not
Yeah.
I
enough
mean,
dynamite to blow up the top. There's enough to collapse the tunnel.
yeah.
Okay. I just don't want to
I'm
shake something loose that's going
If
to.
we had enough dynamite to blow up the top of the mountain, we would definitely be talking about it. But there's not even enough to blow up the altar and collapse the tunnel at the same time. So
I'm gonna see if I can break a bit of the altar. See if we can have a piece to bring to a geologist that he could tell more about it. And for the rest, I'm just gonna collapse the tunnel. That's all right with everyone.
Yep.
I think we should have the soldiers push the altar off the mountain if possible.
They pay the
We can
steep
definitely
price.
do that.
They
Chris, you said it
absolutely
was
did.
3 feet by 3 feet by 7 feet long of solid stone.
Yep. Yeah, the soldiers are probably not going to be able to push that, 20-ish meters.
Are there glyphs and stuff in that altar?
No, it is pristine.
Huh. No weird carvings or anything?
None.
That is so
The fact that
strange.
it's the fact that it's completely clean and that it's not from around here, so they brought it here, uh, makes me
Might be a
suspicious.
meteorite.
Might not
Could
be
be.
from here at all.
How about we just collapse the tunnel and say it was nice knowing it?
It could be from a place like Ling. But
That
yes,
will.
I think collapsing the tunnel and leaving, or leaving and then collapsing the tunnel, rather.
Uh, we should just rest. It has been like
Yes,
28 hours straight
I would like very much to be somewhere safe and horizontal.
with battle and killing and naked guys who try to stab us. And I mean, that's a lot.
Hmm. Can we please go?
let's get down the mountain. The camp has started being set up. People can rest, and I can start working on collapsing all that and breaking that thing.
All right. Everybody give me a Constitution roll.
Chris, I'd like to do something before we leave.
Sure.
I want to take one of those. If they look like they're also using the same, if the cultists were using the same kind of swords and knives, I want to take one of each as a souvenir.
Certainly, yeah. They're all the same. I mean, they're not like mass produced, but they're all the same style of knife. Kind of like a partway between like a knife and a short sword, but with kind of like a little kind of hook / bend at the end of it.
A hook
Cool.
machete.
If you can add that to my character sheet somehow at some point, if you have the stats.
Yeah, it's basically just like a large knife, but it does damage when it's pulled out of the wound as well. And I need
Knife goes in, guts come out.
Yeah, I need Constitution checks from Miles and Gary.
Oh no, it was a radioactive chunk of uranium, and we spent too much time next to it.
No.
I don't even have enough luck to be able to do anything about it.
No worries. Basically, Miles, you're just exhausted after all this. Like by the time you get down to base camp, you're like, good idea. Everybody else is still functional, but Miles needs to get some sleep. And by functional, I mean if you're doing anything intelligence based, you're gonna have a penalty die.
I think we sleep at base camp.
If somebody asks me something that it does not involve food, sleep, or booze, my short answer is fuck you.
But yes,
Locate the materials, so I'm sure we have enough dynamite and a sledgehammer. And then I'm gonna take a rest, I think.
Okay.
I'll dynamite things and break things when I wake up.
So how many have we to do now, guys?
2 left.
Australia, China.
Yep.
I never played Mahjong.
Time to learn.
So just to confirm, the ritual can't happen anymore, right? We've closed enough of them.
I don't know that we've closed enough.
There's only wanton destruction that's left in the areas that are left.
We need to stop the cult at every location, and we need to seal it at every location. And it's incrementally more difficult for them to do whatever they wanted to do, the more of that we do.
Everybody can give me a Cthulhu Mythos roll.
I will not.
Chris, weird question. When it said the game master, the investigators wait dreaming, everyone has a text except for Alvin Sharp?
What?
Because you're too much of a badass.
Oh, it's because
Oh,
you didn't need to get back hit points or restore any sanity.
Ah,
Yeah, Alvin is fresh as a daisy.
A daisy with a tummy gun, but still.
I would not say to a Daisy with a tummy gun that she's not pretty.
All right. Just give me one quick sec here. I need to do some math.
I know people who like guns get their guns inscribed and stuff like that. Alvin's already on the verge of thinking about doing that. Like his gun needs to be like Bertha or something.
Eugen is fiddling with his little silver charm, trying to cast away the stress. Are you gonna give it a woman's name?
That or something like vaguely religious.
Redemption.
Yeah, exactly. Purity.
Love and kindness, so you can like
terrible
bring them love and
names.
kindness.
I could call it flaming sword or something crazy like that. Like
It's so strange.
You could hit them with love and kindness if you name it love and kindness.
testament.
All right. So Evelyn,
Mhm.
you're fairly certain at this point that you have impeded enough of the cult's activities so that the world is not totally fucked. It's still going to be very bad.
Yeah, but it's in the Pacific.
That's not a reason to stop. Jesus. The more of it we stop, the better. They won't be able to bring about the worst of the worst, but they'll still be able to do very bad things.
Then I will have a beer and sleep well tonight.
So, yes, I think we should all have a very strong drink and a very long nap. And then we should start booking passage to Australia or back to China, one or the other.
We should probably get back to town first.
Well, yes. There is that.
I think
I
speaking
mean-
with the old man before we leave could be interesting.
I mean, he was a soothsayer or something. He could see the future, and he said that we had an opportunity to do something that nobody else in Africa could, right?
And I think that telling him that the mountain has been freed for now would mean that maybe his people could reclaim the zone, and that would
Or
be
just keep an eye and keep
better.
everyone away before it gets big and a problem.
I agree.
That is a good point.
And warn them about what's in the village, the spawns in the village.
Can you not just take the W for today?
I mean, today we win. Let's talk about this tomorrow morning.
Mhm.
Tonight, whiskey, tomorrow, dynamite. We'll see afterward.
Chris, I go into my inventory and use the sleeping bag.
Okay.
Slash save game.
I'm honestly assuming that I'm talking about all this while I'm in bed. Like, I already called I was going to bed. People
Then Alvin will say,
stuff,
"Shut
and I
up,
just
I'm trying
speak
to
from my
sleep."
bed.
It's like all the times you're camping and the kid and you're trying to go to sleep and everybody's talking about every little thing.
Yep.
So everybody does get some much needed rest, some food, some drinks. By the time the morning rolls around, um, you guys can feel that the ritual has taken hold. The area is now safe from
Do we hear fauna?
not yet, but you feel it in your bones that this is an area that is off limits to those of the mythos.
Oh, good. The air feels better.
The sleep felt good.
Oh, yes. Well,
I mean, sometimes the sleep does not feel good. And that's generally a bad sign.
uh,
And next, when we're gonna be in town, it's gonna be a bath and a shave, and it's gonna be marvelous.
oh, a bath would be so nice.
It will be.
Bath and a soft bed. And maybe a fan.
In the meantime, I'm gonna bring myself some solace and go break some stuff.
Right. So is anybody going with Eugene when he goes to smash the altar?
I'm afraid that Eugene's gonna almost get killed again. So I'll go.
Alvin is waiting for Miles to make up his mind because if Miles goes with them, he feels safe. But if Miles stays here, he'll go with them.
I'll go with whoever's going somewhere.
Then Miles will stay with Miss Collins.
Miss Collins is staying, in fact.
Right.
And we can have a little discussion about whether we go to Australia or China, because in Alvin's opinion, they're less likely waiting for you in Australia than China, where you've already pissed everyone off and they already know you. So more chances of getting one done before we get off when we step off the boat.
That's true. As much as I hate to agree with that, um, yes, as much as I hate to agree with it, I do. As far as we know, we haven't seen anyone who is, oh, except maybe the professor. Who did he meet?
I feel like everyone in Beijing knows who we are.
It does sort of feel that way. I mean, Beijing, though, the appeal of Beijing is that they
Sorry,
have their own.
Singapore. No, Shanghai. Shanghai.
Yes.
It was Shanghai, right, Chris? Not Beijing?
It's Shanghai.
Right.
Yeah. Is that they do have their own conflict happening just among their own citizens, which can provide us a bit of cover. And we do know possibly 2 people there who may still be alive. Australia, the advantage is certainly that they haven't, I think.
Even if they're waiting
medicine
for
pro-
us, less of all of Australia knows who we are than Beijing.
Correct. Right. I
And we need to go Beijing anyway, but I feel like if the odds
last.
are, yeah,
Better us try to accomplish something in Australia and then go to see the people who are already angry at us in China again.
I agree with your sentiment, and I will support your decision.
Yes. Wonderful. Good shooting, by the way.
Oh, it wasn't me. And he
Well,
pats his
some
gun.
of it was. Oh, I think my ears are still ringing. That was very loud. In a
Did you
very. echoey space.
Yeah. Did you ever reload your gun after that?
Oh, no, I didn't. Should I?
Yes.
I'm not a... All right. Evelyn will set about reloading her gun with fingers that I imagine are shaking. Just a touch.
Alvin will help people pack. Says he doesn't want to stick around after the explosion happens. He wants to move.
All right. And the away team.
Crap, how did I get his red
all wearing red?
Oh no! Well, depending on which series, so no. They're either all command or they're all in a lot of danger.
Security.
You guys make your way back up, no problem. It's slightly more pleasant during daylight. Make your way back to the altar. Oh, go ahead.
I was thinking of bringing a couple of soldier with us just in case.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Stay safe.
They will
stay safe and help us bring up stuff up.
Yeah, a couple of soldiers will go with you. Like, nobody goes anywhere without a couple of soldiers with them. And you get back up to the altar, no problem. Everything is as you left it.
So gross and terrible, but I'm gonna make sure that I can collapse the tunnel without affecting the place where we did the ritual. Make sure I don't break it in any way.
Make a demolitions roll. You could push it if you want. The danger, of course, is if you push it and fail, then you will have pinpointed the exact wrong place to put dynamite.
Chris,
can I take more time to do it instead?
Chris, how is that different from randomly picking a place to put dynamite in?
Well, randomly means I'll just roll and see how close it is to a dangerous, like, fault line or whatever. Pushing the roll and failing means it will definitely be on something bad. Taking more time would be pushing the roll.
Okay. Because right now I don't know that I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Because I could collapse like less of the upper part of the tunnel and just the lower part, but don't yet know that I don't feel comfortable.
Yep.
Might need to push that. Sorry. This.
So yeah, if you would like to push it, if you left click on the 78, you should get a little push button.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, look at that. Excellent. Yeah, you spend some time going like, okay, I want to make sure I've got this right.
I don't want to fuck it up.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I've got this much dynamite. Don't want to fuck up the ritual. Don't want to accidentally. I mean, there's volcanic rock here. It's like I don't want to accidentally like open up like, you know, geyser of lava. So yeah, it takes you some time, but you do get it figured out where exactly to place the dynamite.
I mean, the
Okay.
man is trained at dynamite.
Yep. And then
If we died due to a PC cave-in, that would have just been.
and after that, you can easily make your way to the altar.
Yeah. Hmm. You have no idea what kind of stone that is, Miles. It's not from around here. I know you know the country better than I do. You never seen that kind of stone around.
I'm sorry?
I know you know the country better than I do, and I was asking if you ever seen that kind of stone around.
Admittedly, I'm not really a geologist, so I don't really pay attention. I don't know if I would have noticed such a thing with a natural history roll, Chris.
Yeah, you can make a natural history or natural world lore roll. Yeah.
No, I'm not pushing that.
Yeah.
No, I tend to pay more attention to the flora and the fauna more than the minerals and the rocks. Admittedly,
Yeah, makes sense. And just this rock is strange. Like to bring a piece to somebody who could tell us more about it.
Tell me something that is normal here.
I was about to say I don't think you encounter too many normal things when investigating these things going on in the world.
Yeah. Well, I'll try to chip a small piece.
So yeah, as you go to chip a small piece off, two things happen. As you kind of like take the chisel, take the hammer. You're like, there's no cracks or anything to work, but you're like, okay, and you do chip off a chunk. It's not a really big chunk. It's one sec. It's about a cubic foot, but it is fucking heavy. Like that chunk weighs about 120 pounds.
Damn.
The other thing
Shit,
that you notice is as you like break the chunk off, there's a little bit of give to the stone. Like it's weird. Like it looks like solid stone and it looks really heavy, but when you kind of put the chisel up to it, it pushes in a little bit.
Huh. As if it's a mechanism or if it's hollow.
or alive.
More that last thing.
Alive?
Mm-hmm. Actually, Eugene, why don't you give me a sanity roll there, Eugene?
Oh yeah. I sense it was coming.
Right. It's a little disconcerting, but Carrie's probably right. I mean, you don't think the stone is alive, but it has there's a certain elasticity to the tension, the surface tension of the stone that reminds you a lot of flesh. But then you break the chunk off and it breaks off just like rock.
I don't like that thing.
How about we stick to fuck curiosity and we just collapse the thing?
Yep. I'm gonna grab that rock and leave.
What's your strength?
My strength is 75. Yeah, 75.
So, when you like basically pick it up, it is heavy. Weighs, like I said, like this like 1 cubic foot piece of stone that broke off weighs 120 pounds. It is.
It's the weight of a small woman.
Yeah.
This is more than it should weigh. Like, I'm not insane on that.
Right.
It feels like it weighs more than the size seems.
Yes. Especially given like the fact that it doesn't seem to be dense enough to weigh that much. And there's a little tingle in your fingers. You can make a... Let's call that an occult roll. So yeah, this is an altar. It's probably been charged by ritual. There's probably a way to draw some of that power off, and it seems like at least some of the power from the altar is still contained within this chunk of stone.
Oh. I mean, would that be a way to regain some of the power I lost?
Power, no, but it is a repository of magic points.
Well, won't say no to that. That's a heavy repository, but it is a repository nonetheless.
Right. And as for the stone, are you just like carrying it in your hands, or because like 120 pounds is a lot?
Oh no, I was carrying away from the altar, but I'm gonna put it on something. Like I ask a couple of people to help me bring up dynamite up, so I assume we have the empty things in which I had the dynamite.
Put it in the empty dynamite case? Okay.
Yeah.
120 pounds is Evelyn.
Uh-huh.
If she's holding one of the books and soaking wet.
You need to have a bunch of loose change in your mouth and a wool cloak that is wet.
Did he say loose change in her mouth?
Yeah, to get to the 120 pounds. I tried to raise her weight up.
No, I get it. I just did not expect loose change to be in her mouth.
I don't get pockets, you see.
I have a French expression for that, but I translated as best as I could.
That did
I
not
don't want to
translate
know
well,
where it
but
is in
it's
French.
it's okay.
Yeah, that's the problem. I realized that after saying that shit. Something works in a language and not in another.
What is the original?
Oh God, don't ask.
$120 livres tout mouillé qu'un gilet de laine pis une poignée de change lousse dans la gueule.
Got it.
So, yeah.
It sounds more poetic in
I
French.
will not do this again.
All right. So yes, you guys have your chunk of rock. Eugene can give me a demolitions roll. You will get a bonus die from knowing exactly where to place it, but this is just to see, basically make sure you don't blow yourself up.
Yep. Gonna place the dynamite along the tunnel and go down and like warn people that I'm gonna blow it up and then blow the tunnel down.
See, if I play any games with my buddy Don and I give him dynamite, he always reminds me of the time that I gave him in Deadlands. I gave him dynamite and like the little cord with the plunger, but dynamite has a 60-foot blast radius, and I only gave him 50 feet of wire.
That's hilarious.
At least it wasn't the old sweaty TNT that you gave us in one of the Deadlands games.
I love giving people discount nitro.
It was at a discount. That's true, and we did buy it. But yeah, Never again.
And this, on the other hand, is quality demolitions work. So you do take your time placing the dynamite and everything, but everything is set, and you've got enough to completely collapse the tunnel and basically sealing off that upper temple level. Go downstairs and warn everybody.
Hashtag get the fuck
Yep.
out.
You're gonna hear a big boom. Everything is normal. I'm collapsing the tunnel. Cover your ears.
What?
Kaboom!
After all the gunfire last night, I'm still not hearing things right.
And there's a big explosion. There is a little bit of rubble and debris, but not much. I mean, that was a very well placed, well built demolition charge.
He's trained in dynamite.
Just go up and double check your work after everything is kind of settled and that tunnel is completely collapsed.
Yeah, getting to the top is gonna be a chore for anybody who wants to go there. So that should be good for us.
It's good for the
And
world.
probably that place is super haunted now.
It is good for the world, not just us.
Very.
People were sacrificed there. People died. The cultists died. Everybody died there. So that place is super haunted. Let's make sure that everybody knows that this place is super haunted and nobody should go there.
We should talk to the old man again.
Speaking of, everything's packed and just waiting for you guys to get in. Did we walk here or drive
Oh,
here?
yeah.
I wasn't there.
Walked.
It's a like multi-day hike through the jungle.
Everything's
much
packed,
walking.
and here's with this one is your pack.
Yep, let's get out of here and let's avoid the village.
Yes. Yes. We should warn the old man about the village too. He might already know, but he might not.
Chris, considering there's too many fallen soldiers for us to bring back, I assume that they had they buried them or something happened, or are they trying to bring them all back?
No, they actually would have burned them. It's safer than burying them in what is possibly cursed lands.
Well then.
Your journey back to the jungle is uneventful. And once you get a little bit away from the mountain, you do start to hear those jungle sounds again. You didn't realize how much you missed them until you start hearing them again. It's that as that sound starts to creep in on the edges of your hearing, it's the sound of normalcy kind of asserting itself back into your world.
Is there ants?
Not unless you go looking for them.
Eugene is hugging the cage of he who is not what she appears.
Okay.
On the way back.
Perfect.
Does it is not that it appears need to eat?
She has to be fed like flies and insects and stuff.
She seems to be feeding herself.
But I make sure that she has enough food. Even if she's feeding herself, make sure to grab stuff and bring it to her.
Just in case.
Like, I am over caring of her. Like, making everything sure that she's fine.
Yep. She seems content, if disturbing.
Oh, yeah. But I after the ant attack and stuff, I just latch onto something that gives me a feeling of being able to do something to protect myself, and she's that right now. She's my crutch.
So yeah, 4 or 5 days of journey back through the jungles of Kenya. Um, everybody's mood is a little down. They lost a lot of men, but at the same time, they are soldiers. They have fought in wars. Um, this is at some level acceptable to them.
Chris, on the
Yep.
way back, do they know what they were fighting for, or were they just under orders?
They were under orders, but they saw what they saw. They have to kind of come to grips with that, but they were aware that there was weird shit.
We weren't their first exposure to cultists.
No. I mean, the spawn in Nyarlathotep and all that sort of stuff, that was different. But at the same time, you guys killed it before it could do a lot of damage. You dropped the sorceress before she could do a lot of things. So there is some rationalization happening. But this is not their first run-in with either cultists or, as much as I hate to say it, locals.
I'm gonna try to make the information leak to them that whatever they did on top of that mountain should ensure that what they saw, whatever that was, never happen again.
But yeah,
Try
there's
to
bolster
morale a bit.
Gotcha. Yeah, and there's a certain amount of kind of like dark gallows humor amongst them. But it seems like they have their coping mechanism for most of these people. This is not the first time they've lost friends.
Thanks, Chris.
But after 5 or 6 days of jungle journey, you guys managed to make it back to Nairobi.
Oh, thank goodness.
Chris, if I remember correctly, the wise person was a good 4 or 5 hour drive by yellow Lamborghini. No, what was a fancy car that was yellow? I don't remember.
Rolls Royce.
The Rolls Royce.
Rolls Royce, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I suppose we take a rest in our outer room, and tomorrow we can poke the gentleman at the Center for African Union or something like that. I'm not sure the name of his organization, to get a meeting with the grandpa.
I agree with all of that. I also assume that boat rides to Australia are not easy to come by out of Nairobi. So we need to figure out when we can leave, and we can time those things together, one after the other.
Did you want to go to Australia before going to China?
Yes.
Okay.
Alvin and I had quite a talk about it, and we agreed that since we already have people who will be keeping an eye out for us in China, we should probably leave that till last.
Yeah, I should probably
See if
send
we
a
can-
telegram to China to see where they are, what point they
We'll see
are.
if we can surprise some people in Australia before we go back.
Because the new the army for a new China Republic, I'm not sure exactly the name of the militiamen, but they were trying to raise a group to go attack the island. Could be interesting to know where they are at on that endeavor.
If they ever did, if they're still alive.
Did we?
I mean, they told us last time
Eugene
that it
and
would
Gary
take them
was not
several
there.
weeks, maybe months, to get all the people together to do that. So
Did
That's true,
Eugene
they
and Gary
weren't.
know about Shanghai?
we had a talk about that before. So I'm assuming.
I just did not remember.
Yeah, I imagine they probably talked about it as everyone was traveling. I mean,
Yeah, I might
gonna-
be I might be mixing where my memory cut off. It's hard to separate things. But we had a session where we said that we pass on information to ensure that if I do that kind of slip off, it makes sense. So I might
Yeah.
be overstepping.
No, it's just that I as a player did not remember that, so
yeah,
there's nothing there.
yeah. But yeah, I
I think
imagine that.
Gary was not with us yet when we were in
No,
China. But
I
I'm
don't think
basing
so.
my speech on the fact we said we passed the information from before. So I might not be remembering exactly everything in person.
Yep. No worries. All right. So you guys are
But yeah,
once you get back to Nairobi, you guys are like, having a nice bath, shower, shave, restaurant
Oh
meal.
yes.
All
I
of
want to
the
go
above.
sleep in my bed for the first time in a while.
I'm still gonna stand guard through the night, making sure we don't get jumped. But yeah.
Can we stay at the barracks
Why would we?
so we don't get jumped?
Ooh, that's a good roll. So as you guys have this chance to rest and relax and kind of go like, okay, according to Evelyn, we've done enough so that the world is not going to be completely destroyed.
Right.
It's going to be really bad for a lot of people unless we keep going, but it's not going to end. But everybody gets 10 sanity.
Ooh. Hello.
Lies. Not everybody.
It's a D8 for the spawn and a D6 for Moaru. You guys eliminated both of them.
Can we get over our maximum?
No, your maximum is your maximum.
And it was my original power. Was that it?
Your maximum sanity is 99 minus your Cthulhu Mythos.
So 99.
There you go.
I'm on 66 on 67.
And
I'm
actually,
feeling great. As great as I can.
and Miles can give me a sanity roll.
I've already added the sanity that you gave us. I don't know if that mattered.
Yep. You can add it and then make the roll. All right. I mean, Miles's sanity was hanging by a thread. But the realization that you've ended, a threat to Kenya. You've ended a monster. According to Evelyn, you're on the right track, and against all odds, everybody is still in one piece. Kind of like pulls you back from the brink. Normally, carrying indefinite sanity takes time, but I figure if you get 10 at 1, I'll let you make the sanity roll, see if your indefinite insanity kind of like... It's still there at the back of your mind, but it's not at the forefront anymore. The realization...
Best way to stay sane is just to keep winning.
Yeah. The realization that you guys are making progress. Kind of like puts Miles's mind at ease a little. That and the fact that I believe you still have a psychiatrist on retainer that you can talk through your issues with.
Yes.
The next day, a little bit of asking around. unless anybody wants to do anything in the evening.
No, I think it's for let's have a nice meal, a nice drink, say stupid joke, evening to relax. I think we deserved it.
Perfect. So the next day, it's easy enough to find out that you can get a ship from Mombasa to Australia. It will take about 28 days of travel because Australia is in the middle of fucking nowhere. And that will take you to Melbourne.
So that's the plan then.
Just like to stop at Old Man first, but yeah.
Where did we have to go in Australia again? Was it Melbourne or was it in the outback somewhere?
Or
Darwin. I couldn't remember.
One sec. Pull up a little map of Australia. So the map that you saw in the pyramid indicated a location somewhere in the Western Australian outback. So somewhere in the middle of this godforsaken wasteland.
So we would be better off getting a boat to Perth.
Yep, except there are none.
God damn it. Are you serious? I've been to Melbourne in real life. We got to go all the way to Melbourne and then backtrack? Oh, gosh.
You do.
I mean, we can probably take a boat from Melbourne to Perth.
Yeah, it's just the fact that we have to go all the way like southeast to then come back west.
Yep, it's just the way the shipping lanes go. Because at this point in time, Perth is not a terribly big city.
Okay, that's fair. I'm just like, what?
It's weird because these dotted lines seem like they're the shipping lanes, and there's no dotted line that goes straight from the ocean to Melbourne. They all go through Perth, don't they?
Well, I suppose you could get off Sydney first. Then you could go to Melbourne, then Adelaide, and then transfer ships to like Albany, and then around to Perth. But Melbourne is first.
Sure.
When
does it leave?
It would be leaving in a week.
So we have a week to close off our affairs here, like talking to the Oracle.
And I'll get everybody to give me a history roll.
Sorry, just quickly, what's the transportation from Melbourne to Perth? Is it just like a local ship or is it train?
Ship for sure. Train. You can rent a vehicle.
Alvin, man.
Guys, I'm on fire today. I just rolled a 1.
Right.
Sorry, you wanted a what roll?
History.
Okay.
Oof. Right. So from Melbourne to Perth, there is rail, there is ship. There, adventurous people will take their own car across the desert, because a large part of Australia is desert. Those people are generally not heard from again. But there's also Australia at this point in time is like a hotbed of inter-country flights.
Ooh.
They have a national flight program?
More like a whole bunch of really talented, enthusiastic amateurs.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Planes.
Sorry, I stepped away for a second. What was that? What was all of that? I heard about train and bus or something.
Airplane is actually a valid method of travel within Australia.
I was going to ask, actually.
I don't know if Luther would love that or hate it.
The way you
I
describe
think you
it
would love it,
feels.
but in a terrible way.
The way you describe it, Chris, it feels less like something official and more like 12 Launchpad McQuacks, kind of like.
I mean,
It's such a good expression.
more Amelia Earhart than anything official and organized, from the sounds of it.
It's 1920s Australia. It's a lot of launchpad.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother-in-law has a plane.
But Evelyn and Alvin, with your extreme successes, you know that you can get from Melbourne to Perth in about 2 days by airplane.
Oh dear.
Definitely an option.
I mean,
A strong option. If you go by boat, it feels like
it is a strong option. How long was it by boat? From Melbourne to Perth?
Give me 1 sec here. Let me see. From Melbourne to Perth, looks like it's going to be probably about 750, maybe about 800 miles by boat. I don't know what that would work out
but
to.
in terms of...
I don't know. I need to math.
You are such a devoted storyteller. My answer would have been more than 2 days.
That is a very good reference.
I mean, yeah.
Let's see. 23 miles an hour.
I think we knew that the guy who sent the thing was sending them from Melbourne too. The artifacts.
Nope, from Darwin.
Okay.
It would take you probably about 4 or 5 days to get from Melbourne to Perth by boat. And then there's a question like when does the boat leave and so on and so forth, whereas the plane is chartered. So the plane leaves on your schedule.
You said it's a 2-day flight. Does it land somewhere? And then, because it can't possibly, unless they're swapping pilots.
Yeah. No, it usually lands in like the Port Augusta area for like refueling and resting and stuff like that, and then continues on. Like, Australia is big, y'all.
But smaller than Canada.
Perfect. But yes, so you guys know you've got a week to basically finish up your loose ends, get to Mombasa to board your ship. But I think we'll actually, you guys want to go and talk to old Bandari?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So yes, you go to meet your contact, who can take you there. Whose name I need to look up? Johnson Kenyatta.
No, you just want to ride in the car again, like a pimp.
Well, I mean, there's that too. It's a very nice car.
I don't know what you know.
Oh, I was not expecting you to still be here. No offense, but many people who go into the jungles do not come back.
I would imagine. We saw some things.
I definitely can see why people don't come back. Was this the old man or contact?
No, this is the contact that will take you to the old man.
Okay.
Well, he'll take you to the guy who will take you to the old man.
We managed to do what we set up on doing, and if that would be acceptable, we'd like to have another talk with your grandfather. Tell him what happened, and maybe you and him can guide people so it stays safe.
I will, and he'll basically send you through the same routine you did last time, where it's like he motions to the guy, you follow the guy without actually walking with him. He leads you to the garage. The exact same thing. You follow, but you don't walk with the guide. Then
Not attract attention.
And before long, you guys are bouncing across the Kenyan countryside in a very yellow Rolls Royce.
I like the color very yellow.
And he leads you to old Bandari, and again you walk that kind of circular, kind of spiral into the middle of the hut. This time though, Bandari is not in his dream trance. He is actually awake and conscious and eating some peanuts and plantain. The younger man basically motions for you to sit. He says something.
He's just gonna go to his place.
Yep, and he kind of catches the old man's attention, speaks to him in Swahili. The old man says something back. Miles, you translate some of it. You do catch the term bloody tongue, and Nagai, Lord of the Kari Nyaga. And then Okomu will translate. It says, the bloody tongue has grown arrogant, taking people from their villages, stolen for blood sacrifices, corrupting our leaders. We have prayed for a long time to the Lord of Mount Kenya to stave off this evil. Apparently, our prayers were answered.
Luckily, we managed to do what we set up to do. Lots of blood would spill on top of that mountain. I would advise people to avoid this place. We tried to make it as difficult to go back there as possible.
It will take some
But
time
it
for
should
the.
be
Oh, go ahead.
it should be more difficult for evil to grow back there.
He translates for Bandari. Bandari speaks back. Okomu translates. The land will reclaim what is its. It will take some time. But the land will regrow.
there is still evil there. Is anyone going to watch over to make sure that the bloody tongue doesn't remake its numbers?
Again, the translating. With the priestess gone, we will be able to keep things on the proper path. We will ensure that the bloody tongue does not again rise to power.
Just want to make sure you beware of the village where the sacrifice were taken. Things were summoned there, and those things were very dangerous. I do not know when they will fade.
Thank you.
I wanted to thank you for your assistance here. We will soon leave to keep trying to stop them in other places they have sprung. But I wanted to make sure to thank you for your help.
And the old man will thank you. And then you'll be let out. You notice at no point does he mention she who is more than she seems.
I'm gonna ask him about the stone, if he have ever seen this stone or heard about it. The bluish stone of their altar. Before we go.
I've not heard of such a thing. If it was their altar, though, it is undoubtedly tainted.
It has been left on the top of the mountain. Could not deal with it more than whatever we did.
We will make sure no one goes.
Feels like it was pulsing, breathing. I'd rather you know.
We will keep an eye on it.
Hopefully your people can take back their rightful place, free from the tongue.
In time.
Do you have any wise words for our journey where we continue?
He'll say something in Swahili that roughly translates as a blessing.
Honestly, I'll take it.
Yeah, it's better than I hoped for.
And it seems like this amount of speech has taken its toll on him. He is very old and very frail.
We thank him and depart.
And then yes, you guys can spend the next week making your plans for Australia, but we will call it there.
I'm gonna switch my rock from a box of dynamite to a more innocuous box.
Okay.
Because traveling with a box of dynamite would arouse suspicion.
Yep.
Yes, it would. And part of your preparations for Australia means that you can secure necessary permits for firearms and stuff like that. Australia, like the cities are civilized, but Australia is still very, very much untamed.
It's a big wild place.
It is a big wild place. Like once you're outside of the cities, it is a desert
with a lot of animals that we've never seen before.
Uh-huh.
There is nothing like any of these creatures in North America or Europe.
And everything.
The problem there will be: is that a Cthulhu mythos or natural world roll?
Why not
I'm
both?
trying to
Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine how much worse Australia is in the Cthulhu world compared to the real world.
I am not looking forward to the spiders. Not even a little bit.
There is an
I mean, if
entire
every
mythos book for Australia called Terra Australis.
Oh God.
I mean,
Of
we
course
might
there
be
is.
doing like a Cthulhu Mythos roll for every creature we see because nothing there is supposed to exist.
All right. So yeah.
Why is it
So
pooping cubes?
so I will click it on development phase, and everybody can roll for development and for luck points.
Oh, both.
Yeah.
Oh. As soon as we're done with the. Let's try luck first. Oh, no luck for
The
me.
week we have there, I'll probably try to find a way to make the rock more manageable.
How the hell did I not improve on history? I have 5%.
Wow. I mean, I didn't improve my history either, but it's 57.
I did not upgrade anything.
I rolled a 2.
Neither did I luck.
I improved my spot hidden and my firearms, but that was it.
And firearms went up by 10%. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I got lots of practice up in that caverny area.
Yep.
We're going to be on the boat, so are we going to have that longer development phase where we get to train stuff as well?
Yes, you guys will be able to train in a couple of skills, so you can give some thought as to what you would like to train in, and just post it to the Discord. But yeah, we will see everybody next week for Australia Part 1.
Have a great one, guys.
Yeah. Thank guys. We all lived. Yay!
You had
Yay!
some clutch rolls taking out the spawn and the sorceress right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before they acted, as far as I can tell.
Yep.
Yeah. Amazingly.
That was clutch. When the spawn of Cthulhu hits you for 5d6 damage, that's a bad day.
Oh.
It's only 5d6. It's not like the 48 that I dealt to him. Haha.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why impales are bad. Perfect.
Yeah.
So we
Good,
will
everyone.
we'll see everybody next time, and we'll see some of you tomorrow for Forbidden Lands.
Yep.
Yep. Thanks for everything.
Thank
Chris,
guys.
Take care, everybody.
Have a good night.
Have a great one.
Chris, can I ask